My beloved child, the exhaustion you've been feeling lately is not just in your body, it's in your spirit. That sudden wave of fatigue that strikes even after a full night's rest, that heaviness that makes simple tasks feel unbearable, that strange fog that clouds your mind without reason, this is not random, and it is not weakness. I, your God, am revealing to you that you are under spiritual warfare, not punishment. The fatigue you feel is not a lack of strength, but a sign that your light is being fought for, that your energy is being drained not by the physical but by the unseen. There are battles occurring around you that your eyes cannot see but your soul can sense. Every time you feel that deep weariness without explanation, that's your spirit defending your peace, your purpose, and your promise. You've been walking with faith through a season where others doubted you, and now heaven is alerting you. The resistance you feel is confirmation of your divine importance. You are not lazy, you are not failing, you are spiritually significant, and that makes you a target. The enemy has studied your rhythm, your moments of joy, your daily patterns, and he has chosen fatigue as his weapon because he knows if he can't break your faith, he'll try to weaken your focus. But hear me clearly, this is not the end of your strength, it's the beginning of your awakening. The tiredness is your spirit's alarm, signaling that you've been surrounded by energies not meant for you. You've entertained too many draining souls, carried too many unspoken burdens, and fought too many battles in silence. Now heaven is stepping in to shift this. I have seen you pushing forward when no one saw your pain. I have watched you pour into others while running empty. I have seen you lie awake at night trying to make sense of emotions that don't even belong to you. You have become a vessel of divine sensitivity, feeling the spiritual climate of every room, every person, every thought. This is both your gift and your struggle. Because while others move through life untouched, you feel every vibration, every whisper of envy, every hidden tension, every unspoken spiritual disturbance. And that sensitivity has left you fatigued, not because you are broken, but because you are chosen. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, holding his sword over your energy, guarding your rest, protecting you from unseen attachments. For the truth is, not everyone you've helped came with pure intentions. Some came to take, to feed off your peace, to leave you questioning your own worth. That is why lately you've been feeling tired after conversations that seem ordinary, exhausted after visits that used to bring joy, and confused after encounters that should have lifted you. These are spiritual leaks, connections the enemy uses to quietly drain your divine strength. But God is revealing this now so you can reclaim your energy. Do not ignore your need to rest. Rest is not retreat, it is resistance. When you rest, you realign with me. When you pause, you give me space to restore what the battle has stolen. That sudden urge to isolate, that pull to withdraw, it is not loneliness, it is heaven calling you into sacred separation. In this stillness, I will refill you. In this quiet, I will rewire your strength. The world may not understand your exhaustion, but heaven does. For every tear you've cried in private, I've stored in the archives of mercy. For every night you forced yourself to smile despite your weariness, I have multiplied your reward in the spirit. You are not losing energy, you are being recalibrated. The warfare around you intensified because your breakthrough is near. The enemy attacks hardest before heaven opens its door. That's why you're suddenly more tired, more emotional, more sensitive. It's because you are closer than ever to divine release. Your fatigue is not failure, it's a spiritual signal that your destiny is shifting. And though you may not see it, the angels have already been dispatched. They are encircling your home, cleansing the air, breaking every unseen tie that siphons your peace. Your body feels tired, but your spirit is rising. Your heart feels weary, but your purpose is awakening. So when you feel that heaviness again, don't question your strength, recognize your spiritual rank. You are being strengthened for the kind of peace that cannot be shaken. And I, your God, am about to turn your exhaustion into evidence that you have survived a war no one even knew you were fighting. Stay still, my child. The fatigue is not the end. It's the first sign that deliverance is already at your door. My beloved child, you've wondered why even when you pray, even when you try to stay faithful, the heaviness still returns as if something unseen is pressing down on your chest. You wake up already tired, you go through your day feeling like the world is pulling something out of you, and even moments of laughter fade too quickly, leaving an emptiness that words can't explain. That's because what you're facing is not exhaustion from the world, it's exhaustion from spiritual interference. Every time your light grows brighter, darkness notices. Every time you heal, the forces that once fed on your pain lose power. And when they lose power, they resist. This fatigue is their desperate attempt to distract you, to slow your pace before you reach the very place heaven has prepared. But I, the Lord, am exposing this plot so that you do not mistake spiritual warfare for personal failure. You are not weak. You are weary from carrying what others cannot see. There are energies that enter through unguarded emotions, through anger you absorb that isn't yours, through sadness you try to comfort in others but never release, through endless thoughts that come in waves of doubt, fear, or guilt. Every time you overthink, every time you replay old memories or question your worth, these invisible battles intensify. The fatigue is not physical, it's a sign that your soul is under siege, your peace under fire. Yet even in this struggle, I am near. You must understand that when you feel most drained, you are closest to transformation. For fatigue is a forerunner of rebirth, it strips you of distractions, forces you to rest, and in that stillness, heaven works. When you feel like sleeping more than usual, it's not just your body crying out for rest, it's your spirit being summoned to recharge, to receive new instructions that only silence can deliver. Stop fighting your fatigue with guilt. Stop labeling your stillness as laziness. For I have written in my plan that rest is part of warfare. The enemy knows you won't fall to temptation, so he tries to weaken your focus through exhaustion. But I am teaching you now, the fatigue you feel is proof that your spirit is powerful enough to resist him. When the enemy sees he cannot enter your heart, he attacks your body. When he can't steal your faith, he tries to drain your joy. But he cannot win. For every ounce of energy he takes, I will restore double. Every time he tries to silence your purpose, I will amplify your voice through my spirit. You've been sensing that the energy of certain people, certain environments, even certain memories, makes you unusually tired, and you're right. You are not imagining it. The enemy disguises himself in familiar places, familiar faces, hoping you'll ignore your spiritual sensitivity. But I gave you that sensitivity as protection, not punishment. Listen to it. When your body tenses around someone for no reason, when your thoughts suddenly darken after speaking with a certain person, when your peace leaves without explanation, that is your spirit discerning danger. Do not dismiss it as mood. It is guidance. Archangel Michael stands ready, shielding you from attachments that drain your light. When he sees you burdened with invisible weight, he moves through your dreams, whispering truths your waking mind cannot yet handle. That's why your dreams have been strange lately. Scenes of people from your past, symbols of drowning, falling, running, it's your soul processing the cleansing that is happening unseen. Do not fear those dreams, they are not attacks, they are releases. You are being purified. I am cutting cords you didn't even know existed, ties formed by emotional debts, by promises made in pain, by relationships that seemed harmless but left residue on your soul. Each release feels like exhaustion because letting go drains energy. But what's coming after will fill you with peace unlike anything you've felt before. You've asked me, Lord, why do I feel so drained when I'm doing everything right? And I say to you now, because the war around you has intensified, but not because you're losing, rather because you're winning. The enemy would not fight you this hard if you were not dangerously close to breakthrough. The heaviness in your chest is not depression, it's a spiritual contraction, the birth pains of your next elevation. You are carrying light that darkness can no longer ignore. That's why even your restlessness at night has purpose. I am using that time to rewire your soul, to deposit wisdom in your spirit that daylight cannot reach. Even your tears have become weapons, cleansing what prayers cannot express. Every sigh, every silent cry, every deep breath in exhaustion is a message heaven understands. You are not alone, child. The angels encircle you as you read these words, touching the back of your neck with warmth, confirming that the fatigue is not random, it's recognition. You have been noticed by both heaven and hell, but only heaven will have the final word. So lift your head, even if it feels heavy. Your rest is holy. Your stillness is sacred. This weariness is temporary, it's the weight of warfare just before victory. The spiritual fatigue you're enduring now is the sign that the old energy is leaving and divine strength is coming in. Stay faithful. Stay still. You are about to wake up lighter than you've been in years, because what's been attacking your peace has finally met its expiration. My beloved one, I see you trying to carry this invisible exhaustion with dignity, pretending you are fine while inside you feel your soul dimming a little each day. You push yourself through obligations, through conversations that drain you, through commitments that no longer align with the person you are becoming, and you wonder why peace feels so fleeting. But I tell you, what you're experiencing is not weakness, it is awakening. This spiritual fatigue is not random, it is evidence that your soul is rejecting what no longer vibrates at the frequency of your purpose. Every time you step into a space that wasn't assigned to your destiny, your spirit resists. That's why the people who once energized you now leave you feeling heavy, why the work that once excited you feels empty, why the conversations that once comforted you now sound hollow. I am changing your spiritual appetite. You're outgrowing energies that used to feel familiar because I'm preparing you for higher assignments, and those cannot be carried by a weary spirit. But before I restore your strength, I must make you conscious of what's been quietly draining it. Look around you. There are people who love your light but secretly feed on it. They come with endless problems, endless complaints, endless confusion, and each time you try to help, you give away a piece of your peace. You absorb their heaviness because your heart is kind, and the enemy knows it. So he sends spirits of burden disguised as friendships, as empathy, as duty, hoping that compassion will become your cage. But I am unmasking this pattern right now. You were never meant to fix everyone. You were meant to heal through presence, not depletion. I am teaching you to discern the difference between divine service and spiritual slavery. Your tiredness is heaven's alarm, warning you that you're pouring into places where I've withdrawn my blessing. I know it hurts to pull back, to distance yourself from people who need you, but understand, their healing is not your responsibility, their salvation is mine. You cannot rescue someone I am still trying to teach. The fatigue you feel is the price of carrying others' lessons as if they were yours. Release them to me. Every time you step into my role, you burn out. But when you step back and let me work, peace returns. You've been feeling like your prayers are unanswered, like your fire is fading, but I tell you now, it's not gone, it's protected. I hid your strength so the wrong people couldn't keep draining it. You've noticed how after spending time with certain people, you need hours or even days to recover? That's not emotional sensitivity, it's spiritual awareness. You are becoming more aligned with me, more aware of what carries light and what carries darkness. Some of the people you've been trying to keep in your life are no longer spiritually safe for where you're going. The fatigue you feel around them is your confirmation. Do not ignore it this time. When I remove your energy from certain spaces, it's because I've already moved your blessing elsewhere. You're being called to operate in peace, not performance. Rest is not laziness, it's alignment. When you rest, you allow heaven to finish what your hands cannot. When you slow down, you hear my whispers again. And right now, I am whispering this truth: your strength is being renewed in stillness. Every moment you choose rest over rushing, every time you say no without guilt, every time you stop explaining yourself and let peace speak for you, you take back the energy the enemy stole. The spiritual fatigue you're feeling is breaking because awareness is awakening. You're realizing that not every opportunity is divine, not every relationship is sacred, not every urgent demand is important. You are learning that protecting your peace is warfare too. I have seen your tears, the ones you cry quietly when no one understands why you feel so tired. I collect every one. They are not wasted, they are watering your next season. This weariness is pruning. It's cutting away the old energies that cannot accompany you into your destiny. Soon, you will notice how your mind clears, how your heart softens again, how joy starts returning without a reason. That's how you'll know the warfare is ending. You will rise one morning and feel peace before you even open your eyes. That will be my sign that the battle has been won. Archangel Michael is already at work, severing cords that once kept you bound to emotional exhaustion. Every night as you sleep, he fights for you, clearing the atmosphere around your home, redirecting energies that were sent to confuse and delay you. You may not see it, but your protection has multiplied. You may still feel tired, but it's the exhaustion that follows cleansing, the kind that comes before a sunrise, not a storm. My child, don't rush this process. Let this fatigue teach you. Let it humble you, slow you, purify you. For in this stillness, you are not losing momentum, you are gaining clarity. The enemy fights your peace the most when he can no longer steal your purpose. You are too close to restoration to give up now. Soon, this heaviness will lift, and you'll understand why it had to happen this way. You will look back and say, even my tiredness was divine. My precious one, listen closely now, for this is the part where the battle begins to shift. You have carried exhaustion like armor, believing it was survival, when in truth it was resistance to the healing I've been trying to give you. Every sleepless night, every sigh you release into your pillow, every moment where you feel drained for no reason, it has all been a signal from heaven that something unseen has been waging war against your peace. This isn't just fatigue of the body, it's fatigue of the soul. The spiritual warfare around you has been subtle, creeping in through the smallest cracks, through the news you watch before bed, through the fear that whispers when you try to rest, through the endless comparison that steals your gratitude. But I, the Lord your God, have not left you undefended. I've assigned angels around you, and Archangel Michael himself has drawn his sword on your behalf. You felt nights where the atmosphere suddenly grew heavy, or where your heart began racing for no reason. That was the presence of interference trying to return. And yet, you are still standing, still breathing, still waking up, because I have surrounded you with light that cannot be extinguished. I know you've wondered why your energy suddenly drops around certain people or after specific conversations, but that's because your spirit is finally becoming sensitive to truth. You are learning to feel what cannot be seen, to discern what cannot be explained. You are no longer walking blindly through spiritual battlefields, you are becoming a warrior of awareness. I am teaching you to pause before answering, to listen before reacting, to guard your peace as fiercely as your purpose. Every time you refuse to engage in arguments that drain your soul, you win a silent war. Every time you pray instead of panic, you reclaim ground the enemy thought was his. Every time you choose peace over explanation, you frustrate every demonic plan that sought to exhaust your calling. Understand this: spiritual fatigue does not mean defeat. It is evidence that you are growing too powerful for the tactics that used to destroy you. The enemy attacks through fatigue because he cannot stop what I have ordained, but he will try to make you too tired to continue. That's why your body feels heavy right before your breakthrough, why distractions come right before revelation, why the urge to quit grows strongest right before elevation. But I am whispering into your soul now, do not stop. You are closer than you realize. What you call weariness, heaven calls warfare residue. You've been fighting unseen battles in prayer, in restraint, in forgiveness, and now the heaviness is simply the aftermath of victory being born. I am purging what was never yours to carry. The memories that drain you, the guilt that clings, the regret that replays, I am removing them one by one, and in their place, I am planting peace that no person can take away. This fatigue has been necessary to show you what has access to your energy. Think of the things you do out of obligation, the people you hold out of habit, the routines that keep you stagnant. I've been using your tiredness to expose what is no longer meant for you. When you try to revive what I've already ended, your spirit collapses under the weight of disobedience. But when you let go, strength rushes in like sunlight through clouds. I am restoring you through divine rest, not resistance. Your body will soon feel lighter, your mind clearer, your emotions steadier, not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you will finally be aligned with me instead of against me. The healing you're praying for won't come from doing more, but from trusting more. Let me handle what you cannot. You were never designed to carry everything alone. That exhaustion you feel is my gentle reminder: be still and know that I am God. Soon, the same energy that feels drained will begin to flow with power again. You will wake up one morning and feel a quiet strength humming inside you, a strength not born of caffeine or motivation, but divine alignment. That will be the day you'll realize your fatigue wasn't a curse, it was a bridge. It brought you to awareness, it slowed you enough to hear me, it stripped away the noise until only my voice remained. And when I speak in that stillness, every lie that tired you will lose its power. Archangel Michael stands guard even now, cutting away invisible cords that tied your spirit to draining people and environments. You will soon feel the difference. The same places that once felt heavy will feel lighter, your prayers will no longer echo but rise like fire, and your sleep will become sacred again. You see, the reason I allowed the fatigue was because I wanted you to finally choose peace not as a luxury, but as survival. I wanted you to see that your worth isn't measured by how much you endure, but by how much you protect the light I placed within you. The warfare around you was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to train you. You are learning the rhythm of rest and rise. You are realizing that divine power flows through stillness, not struggle. And now, as the final veil of exhaustion lifts, you will notice something miraculous: joy returning without cause, creativity awakening without effort, purpose breathing through your silence. The angels are rejoicing, for you have passed the test of perseverance. You didn't quit, even when you couldn't explain the heaviness. You didn't curse me when you felt unseen. You didn't surrender to the darkness. And because of that, heaven is opening its reserves, your strength is being renewed like the morning sun after a long night. Your peace is becoming untouchable. And everything that once drained you will now serve as a reminder of how protected you truly are. So rest, my child, not in defeat, but in victory. The warfare has ended. The silence you feel now isn't emptiness, it's me filling the room. From this moment forward, you will no longer move from exhaustion, but from overflow. The fatigue was the final storm. The calm that follows, it's divine.